Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new episode of F1 2020 Career Mode here on my channel. For this weekend we have the French Grand Prix. We're going to start with, as per usual, putting on my activities for the week building up to the Grand Prix weekend. We do have quite a lot of resource points and a little bit of cash to spend. However, I'm not going to be spending any cash because, as in the last episode, Luca Giotto's contract runs out after this race weekend and he costs 2 million to renew. So we can't buy anything in the facilities. Sorry, not fabrication. We're going to get a upgrade here in the chassis department. I'm a bit worried about the 32% chance of failure, but it is what it is. We don't have enough resource points to get anything else. This race weekend, I feel like could be quite a challenge for us because France is a track that I am quite good at. However, it does require a lot of straight line speed. Which my car does not have a lot of. We do have the Mercedes engine, however the powertrain we haven't really upgraded it at all this season yet. We've really been focusing on the chassis and the aerodynamic departments, which both of my aero upgrades have actually come in now, which I am very happy about. So all of my departments are all roughly the same now, so they're all up to the sort of same standard. We're about fourth best in the. We're about the fourth best car in each department now. We are going to continue to upgrade the chassis department a little bit more, I think, this season. I will then actually turn to the durability department because I feel like our vehicle, we've already used up quite a lot of parts of our car. We are going to get a quality control for the chassis department just so we can get some upgrades and they won't fail as often as they normally would do. I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. We are actually going to be going straight into the race. Mainly because, as I said before, with my durability department, the parts on my car are very worn. And I needed to change them. And so I needed to change the parts on my car in order to not retire out the race. So we are here at the race. I'm going to get straight underway. So we're going to have 5 red lights. And away we go for the French Grand Prix. We do start in last place due to our grid penalties. Hence why there was no qualifying. Right at the back of George Russell. Go round Nick Latifi. I think into turn 1 I'm going to try and go quite slowly through here. Both Williams actually go past me. So we're actually going to stay in last place. Which is the first time I've ever said this in my career season. Around the outside of George Russell, coming, make a stick around the outside. 3 cars inside of our teammate Luca Giotto. That's 3 cars in 1 corner. I will take that. 4 cars in the space of 2 turns. Now up into P18. We've got our teammate Luca Giotto all over our rear end. We go wide on the exit. We have to put on our overtake button. Giotto goes past us. Magnussen's right alongside as well. I believe they're both going to get the move stuck. We do hit tyres with Magnussen because I don't want to take out my teammate. Magnussen stays with us, but we still get the move done, so we stay in P18. I feel like this race would be a challenge if we do get points. We're starting last. I had to change my components, sheerly because I thought like by the end of the race I would have to retire because they were so worn. I've tried pushing and pushing and pushing. I should have changed my parts when I was in the main screen before the race weekend started. I wouldn't have got a penalty, but I forgot. Plain and simple, it is my fault. But we will get penalties later on in the season if we don't upgrade our durability department because we're already on engine number 3 and we're not even halfway through the season yet. So it's not the best start. Not the best start, I will be honest, to the durability side for this team. We're now behind Kevin Magnussen. We are in P19. Lando Norris is in P17. I don't know how he's this far down the grid. Unless he had a shock of qualifying. Qualifying was wet. I did actually do qualifying. I did get myself into Q3. Came 9th in the end. But again, we had all the grid penalties. There was no point me even showing you qualifying because I was always going to start last anyway. We come down into this braking zone here. This is where we close in on these cars because our chassis and aero is quite good. But it's on the main straights where we do lose time. So I'm going to have to use up a lot of rich mix and ERS to catch up to these guys. Again, we're going to try and stay behind Kevin Magnussen for as long as we can until we feel the best move possible for him. We're going to skip to lap 4. We actually get past Magnussen. It's brightened up here at the Circuit de la Casette. Lacazette, sorry, not Lacazette, he's a football player. Lacazette. Right behind Lando here, we hit the back of his rear wing. Can we get past him into this corner? We're probably going to go around the outside of Lando Norris into this turn. Bash wheels a little bit. I just make the move stick. Lando's probably going to get the inside line for this one. We're going to have to go around the outside. He's making us work for this move. He's still there. He is still here is Lando. We go around the outside. We give him space. He's actually got past. Got the move back. But we squeeze him out. And he actually lets us pass quite easily. We're up into P17 now on lap 5. So the next up is the two AlphaTauris of Kimi Räikkönen and Antonio Giovinazzi. In regards to the Constructors' Championship this year, we are going to be racing against, or fighting against Racing Point. That's how it's looking at the moment. So we do have to get points here in order to catch up to them. We're going to skip to lap 6, which is my pit lap. And we can see, we're going to try and see what we can do. We've got Carlos Sainz in the pits, who I did hold up there. We've got a Racing Point in the pits. We've got an Alpha in the pits. We've got a Haas in the pits. We come into our pit box. What time can the Morris say? Oh, look at that. A 2-flat pit stop. But we get held up by about 4 cars there. So, probably the best pit stop we've had all season from my pit crew. And we don't get anywhere from it because we get held up. Which is normally, because my pit box is at the end of the pit lane, I don't normally get held up. But, is what it is. Skip to lap 7 now. Skip to lap 7, go around the outside of the Haas. Can we make the move stick? We've got Kimi Räikkönen in front of us. Got to try and make sure we don't take him out. And we do get past him. We now have Kimi Räikkönen next up. So we are into P15 now. Räikkönen will be P14. We have the 2 Racing Points ahead of us and an AlphaTauri. I believe the last person in the points is the McLaren of Carlos Sainz. So we have 5 laps left. And we need to gain 4 positions to get points. We're going to be on a charge here. I do feel like the car this weekend is quite slow in comparison to where we have been in previous Grand Prix. But we have to make the most of it. We skip to lap 9 now. And we are close right in on the Racing Point of Sergio Perez. And we've got Lance Stroll and an AlphaTauri in front of us. That is P11, so we do not have P10 in this group. But we need to get past these guys as quickly as possible. Send it down the inside of Sergio. Make the move stick. Force him out wide. There we go. The move is done. Next up is Lance Stroll in the other Racing Point. We can see if we get past him. However, as we know, the Racing Point is rapid in a straight line. I've got DRS open and ERS open as well. And Perez is actually making a move on us. And we are using up a lot of my ERS to defend from him. We are going to make the move stick just. But we do have a massive kick of oversteer. Stroll got past Daniel Kvyat. So now we have Kvyat in front of us. Next up. Again, we're just going to push as hard as we can to maybe try and squeeze some points out of this. I feel like the only way we are going to squeeze points if somebody retires out of this Grand Prix. And means that the point person is the next person in this group. It's the only way I can see myself getting points. I'll be honest, there's a yellow flag in front of us. Is somebody retiring out the race? This could mean this could be a good chance for us. It's a yellow flag. There's a Renault going very slow. There's a Renault with smoke at the back of their engine. It's Esteban Ocon at his home Grand Prix. That is a shame for the Frenchman. I'm not too bothered because that means Lance Stroll is the person in 10th position. So points could be a possibility here after starting in last place. We have to try and push as much as we can, do consistent lap times and see if we can maybe overtake Lance Stroll in that Racing Point car. Don't forget, we are racing against them in the Constructors. And with Perez behind us and Stroll there, I know it's only 1 point, but they might get no points this weekend if I can make that move on Stroll. And we could even gain more points on that team. So it's very crucial for the Constructors. Now we have big kick of oversteer. We do get past Daniel Kvyat. So we have 3 laps to catch Lance Stroll, who is 1.4 seconds ahead of us in that Racing Point. I hope he doesn't have a lot of ERS left or rich mix left, because otherwise we are screwed. We do not have a lot left in our locker to attack Lance Stroll. But we're going to do our best. He is the last point finisher at the moment. So we're going to try and get as close as we can to him. That section there I nailed. Gained 4 tenths on Stroll there pretty much through that section. Again, we're going to try and catch him up. Only 3 laps left of this Grand Prix. Again, we've had a very, very good start to my career season. So I shouldn't be ashamed of getting a P10, because that's where my car really and truthfully should be. I felt like the car didn't have much pace this weekend. Although I wasn't driving the best that I probably could have, but I was pushing the car to the limit. And I just felt like the car was a bit slidey around this track. Or maybe the setup I need to change for the next time we're here next season. But I feel like the setup was a little bit slidey and the rear end was getting loose a little bit. We're going to skip to lap 12, where I'm gaining on Stroll here. I think I'm going to have to make a move down the inside. He forced us right to the inside. We lock up. We just get past Lance Stroll. What a move down the inside. We absolutely risked it for the chocolate biscuit. And we did get past him. We are now in P10. We are in the points. But we have to try and defend from Lance for the last lap and a half. We've got to see if we can try and manage that. And I feel like that is not going to be an easy task. Him in that racing point. We're pushing as hard as we can here. We do not have a lot of fuel left. We've got 0.03 of fuel left in regards to our laps. Which means I can barely put it into Richmond. I've got to go standard and lean to hopefully make sure I get it to the end without even losing all my fuel in my car. But we still have Lance Stroll behind us. We're coming on to start our last lap. Very good exit out of that corner. Use up our ERS. We do not have a lot left. We've got to save it for that big straight. We're now actually negative in fuel because I need a bit of straight line speed. Try and put a bit of a gap away from Lance. Try and get a nice exit through this corner. Ride the curb a little bit back on the power. Very good exit there. Probably the best exit I could have hoped for. We've got 9/10 back to Stroll. Late on the brakes here. Down into gear 4. Down to gear 3. Feed it through the corner. Back down to gear 2. Need a good exit out of here. Be nice and smooth with the wheel. As we now put on the accelerator. Nice and smoothly. Do not want to get a kick of oversteer. Give Stroll any chance of getting past us. He's over a second behind us. We skip to the end of the race. And we do hold it in to take P10 at the French Grand Prix.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So we get driver of the day, which I'm not surprised about going from last place to P10. We get driver of the day and we get a point, which is great news for us actually. I'm not going to be excited about a point, but in regards to the constructors, which I've said before is my focus this season, Racing Point didn't get anything from this race weekend, whereas we did, starting in last position. They will be kicking themselves after that. We do need to start making some upgrades in the car if we want this car to improve a bit quicker, because again, I did really struggle for pace this weekend. Let's see how that has affected the championship. I believe I would have lost places here. So, yeah, we've gone down to P5. Albon's gone past us. I won't be surprised the Ferrari's beaten by the end of the season. We're still in P4. Racing Point about 30 points behind us. But, very good race from us. And, Giotto did come in P19. But, thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you did enjoy, smash the thumbs up button. And I'll see you in the next episode of F1 2020 Korea.